My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome so much, everyone. Thanks for joining. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, okay? I'd appreciate it. And I have quite a bit of things I want to cover on the stream here. Just give me a second. I'm getting all set up here as time goes on. There's static? Really? What's going on here? I think it's a... And we'll do a test. Okay, I'll have to do it this way. Okay, let's see. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. I'll have to do it this way. Okay, let's see. Test 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're fine. We're fine and dandy now. Okay, good. All right. So I had a stream a minute ago, but I was having some tech issues. So I want to just finish up on this story I was doing on the last stream. So there's a story out of California. An illegal alien, Beto, in a drunk driving accident, crashed into a tree, killing 6 passengers in the vehicle he was driving. And, you know, the thing with this story, 6 people dead in this tragic accident, an illegal who was deported 7 times. And he has a pretty hardcore criminal background, domestic dispute, cocaine charges, all kinds of things going on with this guy. I mean, there's nothing about this guy that was good. And of course, he survived, right? The drunks always survive because in the accident, they don't tense up. And because they don't tense up, they survive these accidents. These are 6 people that would be alive today if it were not for Democrats, right? You know, you see these people that die in these accidents. Or like this, because an illegal that was deported multiple times and snuck back in is driving, or some other crime is committed. These are all preventative crimes. How many people are dead in the United States because the Democrats, with their open border policies that President Trump reversed? Any idea? Well, is there any numbers on that? Because it happens all the freaking time. I mean, here's another one. All preventable crimes. This is also in the Gateway Pundit. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has submitted an immigration detainer request in Virginia for a 35-year-old El Salvadorian illegal alien. Ricardo, I can't pronounce the rest of his name, was convicted and sentenced to 30 years in prison for 3 counts of rape on an 11-year-old girl. So we've got 6 people dead from that illegal. An 11-year-old girl raped by another illegal. I mean, it's just so sad. These are all crimes that never would have happened. And they only happen as a direct result of the policies of the Democrats. And that's, I know, can you imagine that 11-year-old girl? Her life will never be normal. She'll forever be damaged. And it's a sad thing. These are all things, Lake and Riley, all of them. These are all preventable crimes. None of them would have ever happened. And, you know, President Trump's right. They've been emptying out their prisons in these other countries. By the way, if you missed my podcast last night, make sure you go back and watch it. Some great calls. Oh, my goodness. A woman called in who's a door-to-door canvasser for Mamdani, and she had a meltdown on the program yesterday. So if you didn't catch yesterday's podcast here on YouTube, make sure you catch that. She just totally lost it. Oh, boy. Yeah. I actually had 2 callers from New York City of Mamdani supporters, the canvasser and a voter, and they were both just having complete meltdown. Yeah. That Mamdani, that Zohan canvasser, she may be out of all the callers I've ever had with meltdown, she may have had the worst meltdown of any caller I've ever had. But, you know, these deaths, these 6 and the DUI, the 11-year-old child that was raped by this illegal, These are crimes that never would have happened except for the Democrats and their open border policy. And Trump was right. These other countries have been opening up their prisons and sending their convicts here. It's a beautiful morning in Florida. I'm on my back porch. Real nice. Oh. I don't know what the temperature. Alexa, what's the temperature? 70 degrees. Wow, that's chilly. Oh my goodness, that's cold for us here in Florida. Holy smokes. I thought it was seemed a little chilly. And I don't know what it is about the Democrats that they're, right now the government shut down so they can give health insurance to guys that are doing things like these, criminals that I just shared with you. So for the life of me, I have no idea why the Democrats have what is really just a fetish, isn't it, right, for these criminals. I don't quite get it. Job for 9, welcome as a member to the channel. Thanks, guys. Those memberships are greatly appreciated, and I thank you for your support of my content. So here is Hillary Clinton with Condoleezza Rice. Listen.
Because ultimately, the Palestinian people have to own this solution. And we're a long way from that. But for right now, right at this moment, the Trump administration deserves a lot of credit for the broad-based support that this 20-point plan has.
Okay, so there's Condoleezza Rice praising the Trump plan.
And has.
It's an excellent point. And on that...
And Nora, if I could just add... Yeah, if I could just add, because I think it's important to put the context around this, as Condi
Hillary
did, with the dismantling of Hezbollah, with the successful attacks on Iran, and with a new regime in Syria that is looking for some kind of accommodation with Israel, this set of conditions has never existed in recent times. And so shame on us if we don't take advantage of it. And also, it should encourage the regional powers to see it as an opening that we've never had before.
Wow. So President Trump's peace deal is so good, even Hillary Clinton is praising it. Oh, my goodness. Wow. And she put on some makeup and everything else. She doesn't look as bad as normal. Yeah. That's right, Sean. MAGA forever, forever MAGA. Indeed. Welcome. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. So, Hakeem Jeffries is a complete idiot. I mean, he is the weakest leader of any political party in the House of Representatives' reign ever. There's never been a guy as weak as Hakeem Jeffries. Listen to this guy. He's gonna get his lunch handed to him by a reporter who's asking. The reporter asks, "You're already seeing paychecks missed, soldiers lining up at food kitchens, right?"
You're already seeing paychecks missed, soldiers lining up at food kitchens. Are you concerned that this fight for health care that Democrats are waging here might end up hurting Americans the longer the shutdown drags out?
Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They decided to shut the government down. Republicans in the House have decided to remain on vacation.
Okay, so here he is. This is Hakeem with the talking point, right? But the reporter's going to come back. What's going on? Who is that? Luna? Haku? I'm not sure. One of the cats? Okay, here we go.
Republicans canceled votes last week. They canceled votes this week. And now they've canceled votes next week. They're not serious about reopening the government. Republicans aren't even serious about paying our active duty troops.
See, all the talking points. Watch the reporter, what he says coming back.
But they have voted for temporary government funding legislation.
See, here he said, the reporter who doesn't have a mic, he says, but they voted for temporary funding legislation. They say to Hakeem.
Aren't even serious about paying our active duty troops.
But they have voted for temporary government funding legislation.
Republicans have voted for
Busted.
a partisan spending bill.
Oh, okay. He's nonpartisan all of a sudden. You know, I know. Boom. The press has even turned against Hakeem because he's such a clown. I love it. I was watching, this is on my X, because it's a visual. I can't show it to you guys right here. But 2 hours ago, which was, 3:26 a.m., I was watching this live stream on X from Portland, and it looks like it's literally a war zone, right? They got the smoke all over, everything's going on. That's Portland. 2 hours ago. Smoke everywhere, ICE dressed as soldiers. I mean, what the heck is going on here? What's going on in Portland? You know, and then did you see what happened in Chicago? Listen, this is in the Daily Mail. Listen to this. Protesters battled with police outside an ICE facility in Chicago on Saturday as demonstrators in Oregon hosted a laser party in an attempt to deter federal helicopters from the area. So in Portland, this is a major federal crime. They're pointing lasers at the pilots flying helicopters overhead. It could cause a crash. You see that helicopter crash that's in the news this morning? They could cause they're trying to cause helicopter crashes over the city of Portland. The streets of Chicago turned chaotic as protesters clashed with cops outside the Broadview ICE facility, leading to multiple arrests after demonstrators breached the perimeter. Hundreds of protesters flooded the streets around the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility earlier in the day for a march against Trump administration policies. One person was carted away in handcuffs as others were trampled by officers wielding heavy batons in the melee. The ongoing wave of demonstrations across the nation have grown increasingly creative and confrontational, with protesters in Portland advertising a nighttime protest as a game of laser tag. Unbelievable. The Portland protest encouraged locals to shine lasers at aircraft in defiance of what they call the federal regime. You can go to prison for a long time for doing that. However, armed ICE officers were prepared for the evening demonstration, as several agents could be seen sitting atop the Portland facility as a helicopter loomed above. Residents near the Portland ICE site have complained of nightly helicopter noise, which has persisted for 2 weeks. But they don't complain about these anarchists, right? According to Christine Treadwell, a board member of the South Portland Neighborhood Association, yeah, she's a winner, I'm sure, helicopters began circling the area around 5 p.m. and continue well into the night. The Portland police have warned that shining lasers at aircraft is illegal under state and federal law, poses serious risks to pilots, crews, and people on the ground. Police told local news they're regularly arresting individuals targeting aircraft, including one person detained this week for directing lasers at police helicopters. That's pretty dangerous, and you will go to prison for a long time for that. The escalation follows a Saturday ruling in which judges ruled that National Guard troops deployed to Illinois by President Trump could remain under federal control. So Trump won that one. Yeah, I know. They're out of control on the left. Let's face it, they are out of control. Welcome, everyone. Yes, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This indeed is where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah. You know, these protests that I was watching on the. By the way, I retweeted on my X, Brian Craig Show on X, the live video I was watching from Portland 2 hours ago. I've been up a while, and it looks like Saigon, man, back in the 1970 or something. It was insane, the level of violence. I guess these animals sleep all day and they come out when the sun goes down. It's, you know, but I've never seen something just prolonged like this in an American city. Not at all. Welcome, everyone. Yep, MAGA strong. That's right. That's right. Liberals are brain dead, Bear Claws. Absolutely. They are brain dead. But we did get we got two big indictments this last week, right? We got James Comey and Big Tish, Letitia James. Here's Jake Tapper on CNN covering the news of the indictment of Big Tish.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Oh.
Welcome to the lead. I'm Jake Tapper, and we start with some shocking breaking news in our law and justice lead. Just moments ago, two sources telling CNN that the Justice Department indicted yet another one of President Trump's perceived political opponents. This time it was New York Democratic Attorney General Letitia James. She was charged in a federal court in a grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia today. You will remember James brought civil fraud charges alleging financial fraud against Trump and his adult sons and his real estate business in New York back in 2022.
Yep,
a judge
fake charges.
found them liable and ordered a $355 million fine, which Trump appealed. And this obviously comes in the context of President Trump demanding that...
Where's the talk of her crimes? Jake Tapper's breaking news. He's talking about this old news. Why he's not talking about Letitia James's crimes?
The Eastern District of Virginia, the U.S. attorney there, carry out orders to go after his political opponents. James Comey, who has been indicted. Letitia James, who as of today has been indicted.
How about the coup conspirators? Okay, how about that? Who lied to Congress, which you go to prison for, who committed bank mortgage fraud.
Democratic Senator Adam Schiff is the third that he mentioned in that public Truth Social post that the Wall Street Journal reports was accidentally posted publicly, was meant to be a private message to his Attorney General, Pam Bondi. With me here in New York, CNN's Kara Scannell.
They're in a panic. They got all the dramatic music going on. They just can't. They're just in... Jake Tapper's having a fit.
We're going to start with CNN's Kristen Holmes, who's live at the White House. Kristen, you broke the story. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so earlier today, Lindsey Halligan, the U.S. attorney who was handpicked by Donald Trump to lead the Eastern District of Virginia after Eric Siebert stepped down. That was the man who had been in place and felt hesitant to bring certain cases against Letitia James as well as James Comey. Lindsey Halligan presented the case against Letitia James to a grand jury, and they did vote to indict. Now, we are still waiting to hear what those charges are.
Well, we know now. Her mortgage fraud, okay? She committed mortgage fraud. That's it. Oh, my goodness. This is awesome. This is awesome stuff. Look at this. Now, this is in the Gateway Pundit. Foreign billionaire funneled $513 million. That's just over $500 million to Antifa. Listen to this. British hedge fund billionaire, this is in the Gateway Pundit, Christopher Hahn, has become one of the most dangerous foreign actors shaping America's climate debate. Once hailed as a prolific contributor to environmental causes, he's poured staggering sums in organizations that are radical, anti-American. $500 million into Antifa. But they want to tell us that it's not an organization. It doesn't exist. Well, if it doesn't exist, where'd the $500 million go, right? Yeah. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Here's the Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, and he's now. Keep in mind, as I was telling you, I'm watching 2 hours ago a live stream from Portland. Antifa's burning the place down with their laser party, with the helicopters and everything else. Here's the Attorney General of Minnesota. Keith Ellison, listen to this guy.
Because if there really is no Antifa
See, there's no Antifa. They're trying to gaslight us that it doesn't exist.
Because if there really is no Antifa as an institution organization, then anybody who's associated with Antifa-like ideas, can be persecuted. All you have to do is say, prove you're not Antifa. Well, how can you prove a negative? And suddenly they're just going to be able to use that to justify suppressing speech, arresting people, deploying ICE, deploying National Guard, deploying military. So the fact that there is nobody even knows what it is. The first person I ever heard use the word Antifa was Donald J. Trump. When he was going on about how there were good people on both sides in Charlottesville. That's the first time I ever heard anyone use the term. So now it's this amorphous thing, and if nobody's really Antifa, then everybody could be.
Oh, yeah, see this whole thing, this whole rap that they have that Antifa does not exist just is not going to fly. It's just not going to fly. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? Absolutely. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, I mean, that's their talking point. Antifa doesn't exist. Oh, okay. Then what am I seeing on TV? You're not seeing anything. Gee. It blows my mind that they think that's going to fly, right? Talk, man. We got indictments going on. Are you kidding me? So here's CNN. This is amazing. They're talking about President Trump ending the war between Israel and the Gazians, the Palestinians.
I want to ask you about other news of day, and that would be what's happening in the Middle East, where a ceasefire is now in effect between Israel and Hamas. All of the living hostages are expected to be returned in the coming days. It is still tenuous, but that is the expectation. How much credit does President Trump deserve for this remarkable agreement?
Well, this does need to end the terrible, terrible tragedy we've seen the last couple of years. It's been awful. Over 60,000 civilians have been killed or are starving right now. This must end. October 7th was a terrible disaster. So the proof is going to be in.
Now, this guy speaking, his name's Jason Crow. He's a Democrat congressman from Colorado, right? So Trump's made this peace deal, but he's not buying it.
How this is executed. I am cautiously optimistic that this is going to get done. We need to return the hostages. We need to end the fighting. We need to get food and aid into Gaza so that Palestinian people stop starving. And we need a solution that allows both parties, Israel and the Palestinians, to have peace, safety, security, and self-determination. And until they both have dignity and the right to exist in security, this will never end. So that's what needs to happen. I don't trust Donald Trump. There's no reason to trust Donald Trump. But I will, of course, work with any administration that wants to achieve those things.
You may not trust Donald Trump, but what has been achieved here so far is something that was not achieved by President Biden, with the potential end of the war and all of the hostages being turned over. So do you give President Trump credit for that?
Well, you know what I don't like? I don't like the fact that nearly 70,000 women and children and civilians have been killed in the last couple of years, right? Do you think that's a success, Pamela?
Yeah, he's ended the slaughter. Yes, that's a success, dummy.
Think that that's okay?
Well, I'm certainly not saying that, and that was under both administrations, right?
Well, that's not, exactly. And
he doesn't even know what he's saying. They're so far gone. Oh my goodness. Trump ends the war, and he's trying to tell you that it's a bad thing. They're the left are upset. The anti-Israeli, anti-Semites are upset that the war's over. Now, if you did not catch my podcast last night, when I'm done here, go and check out that podcast. It's the one that has Mamdani on the bus in the thumbnail. And I got a call from a Zohan Mamdani door-to-door canvasser in New York, and she just had a total freak out. I've never heard a meltdown like this. You won't want to miss that show. And Zohan got so humiliated on this bus. You won't want to miss that. So check out that podcast. Here is Mamdani on, I guess this was kind of like a Zoom conference he was in. Listen to this.
My platform is that every single person should have housing. And I think faced with these two options, the system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused, right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
A housing guarantee?
And I think that people try and play gotcha games about these kinds of things. And it's like, look, I care more about whether somebody has a home.
Oh, okay. So he's against private property. This is, isn't that nice? He's against private property. He wants government, state guaranteed housing. So you don't have to pay your rents anymore. You don't have to pay your mortgages anymore because you have the right to have a house. Yeah, that is textbook communism. In fact, not if any of you ever see Dr. Zhivago, hey Pepsi, my cats are all here with me having a good time. Haku, they're on an adventure. exploring. And Dr. Zhivago, which is about the communist revolution, it's very good. He comes back to Moscow to his house, and there's like, 50 people living in his house, and the local Communist Party boss tells him he's got too much housing. It was crazy. The ending isn't good, but Dr. Zhivago is a great movie about the communist revolution. Dr. Zhivago with Omar Sharif. You got to watch it. Dr. Zhivago. Very good movie. Yep, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Haku, and Luna. What's up, Luna? They can hear a bird outside the screen. So they want the bird. Pepsi. Hey, Pepsi. What's up, guy? They want this bird out there bad. Ow, 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 ow. You just scratched me. Here's Pepsi. This is Pepsi. Say hi, Pepsi. Yes, that's right. Here. The other ones are over here. Coca-Cola. Come here, Coca-Cola. They want the bird, not me. Hey, Luna. Come here. This is Luna. Here's Luna. She's the mother. She's adopted them all. Hey, Luna. What's up? Now, my Haku. Come here. Now, Haku, this cat, Haku is one of my daughter's cats. She moved back to Florida from L.A. She has 2 cats, and she could only have 1 cat where she's staying. So I have her other cat, Haku. 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 No, he doesn't want to come. He'll come. Haku, my daughter got, these are all rescue cats. She got Haku from an animal rescue in L.A. And the animal shelter, this is crazy. They have all the cats fixed, right? Spayed and neutered. They took him to Mexico. Not my daughter, the animal shelter. The animal shelter took Haku to Mexico to get fixed. Can you believe that? He was fixed by a Mexican veterinarian. He's playing with something now. So he's been to Mexico. That's right. But he was born in California, so he's an American cat. I know, isn't that crazy? That seems nuts. I mean, how cheap is it? How much cheaper is it? Come here, Haku. Hey, he's our cat that's been to Mexico. Come here. Haku. Haku. He's got his mind. This bird out here is teasing them. Yeah, I know, isn't that crazy? He's traveled. He's flown a few times, been to Mexico, crossed the border legally. Back. Haku, come here. Haku. Hey, Luna. Haku. He's not paying attention to me. Haku. This is very unlike him. Haku. Haku, come here, buddy. Come here. I want to show everybody the cat that's been to Mexico. Come here. Come here. No, he doesn't want to be on camera. We'll see. Yeah, it's true. I couldn't believe it. I did not know that until not too long ago. A couple weeks ago, my daughter told me. I'm like, what? He's the biggest cat I've ever. Oh, no, he's not shy. He's a big baby. They just all want to eat this bird outside that's chirping. But he is the biggest cat I've ever had. I know, I'm not, I think that's nuts. He's a great cat. Haku. No, he's not paying attention to me. But they did all right. The Mexican veterinarian did all right because he's okay. But back to everything that's going on. Here we are in this situation now. The Democrats have the government shut down. You can tell they're enjoying it because the only power they have is to keep the soldiers from getting paid and keeping the government shut down. And the Democrats, they're so obsessed with power. Any type of power that they can achieve, they're going to grab onto, because they're control freaks that have been totally, well, rejected. The American people have rejected the Democrat Party. They're desperate for power. They're desperate for influence, and the only power and influence they have is their ability to keep the government shut down. So they're going to keep doing it, and you can tell that they are enjoying it. You know, unrelated. Well, this is political. I'm not sure if I have the audio of this. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. See if I can find this. Okay. I can't find the audio of it. Oh, well. Well, anyway, you know, I'm a Star Trek fan, even though these Star Trek shows that they do suck these days. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I've been a big Trekker my whole life. And I'm watching New York Comic Con Star Trek panel yesterday afternoon on YouTube. And they break in with an announcement from Stephen Colbert, which I couldn't believe. Stephen Colbert is going to be the voice of the computer in the new Star Trek series, Star Trek Starfleet Academy. And I'm like, what? I mean, are they trying to promote this show or doom it? Do they want the show to fail? Who wants to listen to Stephen Colbert as the voice of the computer on Star Trek? And the reason they did it is because they're a bunch of liberal jerks that run the show, and it's an FU. They have in their mind, they've created this thing in their mind that Trump got Colbert fired from his late show. So they hired him to be the voice of the computer on the new Star Trek show. And I know the show's going to suck because I've seen the trailers of it. You know, there's one good thing about it. I'm going to watch at least the first episode, but I wish I didn't know he was going to be the voice of the computer. He has low ratings. No one likes him. But that's how liberals are. Like, there's a... do any of you watch The Rookie, the TV show? There's... one of the guys on The Rookie, I saw a video of him on Instagram. He's not a famous actor. He plays he's one of the sergeants on The Rookie. He was one of the training officers, the one that's really nasty. And he's married to an actress that was in the new Fantasy Island. She played Mr. Rourke, Ricardo Montalban's niece or something. And they're Hispanic, right? And they did this whole video on Instagram of going to the Bad Bunny concert. And they just are there with their friends. And you could tell, the only reason they went to the Bad Bunny concert was, in their mind, they're sticking it to Trump. Does Trump give a shit that some guy from The Rookie is going to the Bad Bunny concert with his actress wife? Who cares? But to them, they're saying, F you, Trump. We're going to go support Bad Bunny in concert. And I know a lot of people are talking about, okay, we're gonna boycott the halftime show. And Turning Point's doing an alternative halftime show. You have to boycott the whole game, right? If you want to send the point, don't watch the game. Don't put it on your TV at home. Don't have your watch parties. Don't tell the sports bars not to put it on the 80 TVs they have there. Don't watch the whole game. Not watching the halftime, half the viewers at least leave anyway during halftime to go pee. So, you know, come on. It's not much of a protest if you're just going to not watch the halftime. It'll probably still be on everyone's televisions. They just won't be watching it. You know, it's easy for me to boycott the Super Bowl because I don't care. I don't care to watch. Well, I'll have the Super Bowl on, I guess, because my wife likes to watch it. We have it on every year, but this year we're not. And it's easy for me to boycott something I don't like. Like, I'm a big Star Trek fan, so, you know, even though they got Stephen Colbert in it, it's hard for me to boycott Star Trek. because I like it so much. So I know a lot of guys like, and women, you like football. But saying you're not going to watch the halftime, that's not a boycott. You got to not watch the entire Super Bowl and get everyone not to watch the Super Bowl and have the Super Bowl have the lowest ratings they've ever had. That would send a message, right? Not watching the halftime is just not gonna send a message. It's not gonna send a message. Here we have ICE under attack every night, somewhere, and every day, somewhere in America, and they have this anti-ICE guy doing the halftime show as a protest at the Super Bowl. That's crazy. Yeah, it's pointless just to say I'm not going to watch the halftime show. Pointless. Yeah, you come back next season, but not this one. That's it. I mean, how many times does the NFL have to say F you to the country, right? Bad Bunny, the taking the knee. It's just nonstop disrespect of our country and of our people and our whole civilization, our whole nation, our whole culture. The NFL is always saying, screw you. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Most of the time, the Super Bowl halftime act is disappointing, isn't it? It's always pretty much anticlimactic, but I'm not going to watch it. NFL this year they're not representing Americans, they're representing South Americans. I mean, the guy doesn't even sing in English, right? He's a Spanish language. I know he's Puerto Rican, I know, but his audience is not just Puerto Rican. His audience is the wider Spanish world, right? Bruce Springsteen always sucked. Most overblown, overrated rock star ever. That's it. I mean, that's just it. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Now, make sure you guys go and watch my podcast with Mamdani on the bus. You're going to hear the Mamdani canvasser and other callers. It was just liberal meltdowns. I mean, the liberals are just in freak out mode, as you'll hear on the show. So make sure you check out that episode, all right? I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.